you about somebody who I feel like you've probably not spoken to in a while. And I also feel like this has been somebody that you wouldn't really consider to be too emotional. The thing is, this is somebody who pushed you away or walked away from the connection with you because they did feel like they could potentially ruin a job situation or an existing relationship. And yet, despite the time, having been moving by, maybe this has been weeks, maybe this has been years, they're still not able to forget you. And they do still, I think, cry about you every once in a while and wish that things had been different. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedonestarot@gmail.com. It's in the description box, along with more information on how to become a member, as well as a link to my new Etsy shop for soy candles. Hello, Tandy. How we doing? Hello, Tiana. How's your day going? Let's start off with the OG. This is the Rider-Waite, or the Waite Smith. What else do we have? How's the job going? Ooh, we got the Four of Pentacles. Someone who's been holding on to your memory, thinking about things that you did, remembering them in a way where it's like, I wish I could go back to that time, or I don't want to ever forget that, so I'm going to think about it over and over again. This person has kind of put you on a little bit of a pedestal. They see you as the Empress. It doesn't matter what your gender is. This is someone who feels like wherever you land or whatever situation you're in, whatever room you're in, you find a way to be grounded, or you find a way to make that situation like work for you. And they feel like they didn't bring anything to the relationship or anything to the connection. Maybe they have some issues as far as their finances. Maybe they weren't sure what their living situation was going to look like. Maybe for some of you, this person was not fully honest about whether or not they were talking to other people or even in a different relationship. But there was instability here. Seven of Pentacles in the reverse, Death, and Judgment in the reverse. And it all came down to whether or not this person was willing to put in the effort to make things work, because they did feel like you were the one, or like if I were to be in a relationship, or if I were to do the like long-term connection, it would be with somebody like you. And yet it requires so much work, and it requires like believing in our doing well. They just kind of either fumbled it because they didn't really come across as very decisive, or they pushed you away because they felt like it was only a matter of time before you would reach out to them. It's been 84 years. This is the Titanic lady, right? All right, what else do we have? Eight of Swords. If it's a 4, I'm going to laugh. 6. So close. It's clarifying the 4. We have the 8 of Swords and the 6 of Cups. I feel like I've put myself in a situation where I don't know how to make things right with a person who only ever showed me kindness, or was the person that taught me what unconditional love is like. I wish I hadn't. Hello, Rachel. How we doing? Hello, Key Controller. How's your day? Page of Swords, the Star, 8 of Cups, Knight of Wands. Emperor in the reverse. Okay, so let's split this up a little bit because I pulled 5 cards. Page of Swords and the Star. There's something you told this person from your past about what they needed to change in their life that they took very seriously. I do feel very strongly that for the majority of you, this is something like literally verbatim that you said. You have so much going for you. I just wish you could learn to love yourself, or I wish you could see yourself the way that I see you, or, inspired them to do something, or at least be honest with themselves that there was something they could have done differently. And I think that that has been kind of like a guiding light for this person. I know this is important. I know that I need to work on this, or, you know, this love of my life said that I needed to, you know, let go of that, forgive that person. And I do feel like even though it hasn't necessarily been easy, they have tried to focus on those things. But there's one thing in particular that they have not been able to address. This I have too much to lose. It's like if you're trying to change your budget and you think about all the expenses that you have, or like where you have room to kind of lessen that expense, it would be like avoiding or altering all of the things that had on a small level kind of impacted and built up, but not willing to look at, oh golly, I spend like $8,000 a day on fashion or on new shoes, or, you know, Burger King, not getting paid for that. We just have somebody here who's like, I took care of all the little problems, but that one major thing that got in the way, that, not so much, because it's going to impact too much. So maybe they still have an ex around. Maybe they struggle to straighten up their finances. Maybe this is somebody who doesn't know how to feel emotionally comfortable or vulnerable, and they need to let go of some of the fear or insecurity that blocks that. Whatever it is, they've held on to one major thing. And they're like, I don't know if I can change that. It's too much. Hello, Scummy. How you doing today? He thought the gym would be a cheap holiday. I don't know, man. You gotta have the cute gym clothes, right? So we've got the Hermit and the Six of Cups in the reverse. This is the Cook's Tarot, by the way. The Hermit is about being willing to go off on your own, or looking within, finding some wisdom. And I do feel like you were one of those people that was honest enough to point out to this person, you know, these are some not so great habits. These are some things that make things more difficult for yourself. You could address this. But they've only been able to get like 80% of the way through, you know? Hello, Famous Seamus. How you doing? Hello, Santiago. What's up? Hello, Mooter. I hope I didn't say your name disrespectfully. It was fun to say that. Hello, Marit. How we doing? So we have the Three of Pentacles and the Four of Wands in the reverse. The problem is they've made consistent and like solid efforts, but they've left this major thing still, like elephant in the room, or like stinky meat in the garbage. It's probably because I'm using the food or the Cook's Tarot, right? But this is like, I don't know, man. I know that the goal for this person has been to address the Four of Wands in the reverse, which is instability. This is one of my favorite cards on here too. This is like, I've done everything except for the major thing that was really important, you know? I did everything except for that last, like, final exam, but I can still pass the course, right? No, they are not able to just, like, sidestep whatever this thing is that they need to work on. And it seems like they're trying to figure out a strategy where they can still have access to you, or they can still like create some more memories with you without having to deal with this one major thing. I so want to pretend and like just use the analogy that this is somebody who you told them they need to stop wearing Crocs, but they have like a whole collection, like a whole rainbow of different colors of Crocs, and giving them up is really difficult for them. But you all might take me seriously. Hello, Lemonade. How are you doing? Hello, Lotus. Oh, thank you, Scammy. Let me write that down for you. I wonder if I ever come in contact with Shannon again. In contact with Shannon again? I kind of want the opportunity to just talk things out. Yeah, sometimes it's good just to like get a little bit of closure or see if there's a way to navigate that, right? And, okay. I've got that added for you. Thank you, Skemmy. Let's see, we've got the Five of Candles, or the Five of Wands. We tremble with the violence of the conflict within us, of the definite with the indefinite, of the substance with the shadow. But if the contest exceeded the which prevails, we struggle in vain. This is the problem. If they feel like they can, I don't know, reconnect or reconcile with you and not deal with one of the things that they know is like the most important thing to deal with before they return, then can you really argue that they've done anything at all? It's like, well, yeah, you deserve credit for the things that you've done, but it's like, let's say that the only thing that somebody did when they offered to clean up after they cooked in your kitchen is to like throw stuff in the garbage, but they didn't wipe off the counters, they didn't clean the floors, and they made a mess, you know? They didn't even finish all the dishes. Like, you would be like, really? Hold on, let me do that again. You would be like, really? That's not cool. This is someone who I feel might be coming back around and trying to reconnect, trying to see if there's some possibility to create some more memories. I don't even feel like it's, I'm going to try to get into a relationship with you. It's, I just like want to see you again. But they haven't done this thing that they really needed to do. So it would still be instability with this person. Ace of Candles, or Ace of Wands. Deep into that darkness peering, long I stood there, wondering, fearing, doubting, dreaming dreams no mortal ever dared to dream before. And we also have the Page of Candles, which would be the Page of Wands. If I can only get a good look at them, I can soon tell who they are. That's the thing. This person feels like they can come back around and be like, ta-da, I did all the stuff that I needed to do, or things are like better. They might even kind of play a little bit of like the I'm really sad because the you didn't see my tears card came out. I feel like this is a little bit of a I really miss you, I really want to see you, I really want to talk to you. And you're excited. Maybe, you know, it seems like they've worked on some things, or they tell you one of the things they've changed and you're like, okay, this is progress. But I feel like they're trying to get you into a place where they can let you know how difficult this has been for them, to try to kind of like manipulate you into forgiving them for not addressing all of the other things or this major thing that they needed to. Hello, Mac. How are you doing? We've got the Nine of Paws, which is the Nine of Pentacles, and we also have the Ace of Quills, which is the Ace of Swords. Man's real life is happy, chiefly because he is ever expecting that it soon will be so. I think we have this expectation. Things are going to get better. I don't have to do all of that work. I can just do most of it. It'll be fine. It's like if you were applying for this dream job that you've always wanted, and they do request a cover letter, and you're like, meh, just look at my resume. It speaks for itself. Or look at this great headshot. Aren't I attractive? You'll hire me. When it's quite clear that that's probably part of the process they use to see who to focus on and who's worthy of an interview. This is someone who's like, I don't need to do that. You'll like me anyways, right? If you wish to forget anything on the spot, make a note that this thing is to be remembered. I feel like this person even has a list. This is what you said I needed to do. Maybe it's just mental, but I feel like it's written down somewhere. Maybe it's not like official looking. Maybe it's just like a little ripped off piece of paper or a little like bottom of a receipt kind of thing. But I feel like they look at it. I feel like they look at it and they're like, oh, that one thing. I probably should have done that, but it's okay, right? I could probably still hang out with this person, maybe get them to feel a little bit sorry for me, and I don't know, feel good for 3 hours. Hello, Michelle. How are you doing? Yeah, I really like them. It's like To me, the whole premise of a cover letter or, you know, it's just like, here's what I'm about to tell you. Okay, could you just like tell me what you were going to tell me? And then I could like understand from what you tell me that that's what you were going to tell me. Anyways, we got the King of Wands in the reverse, the Chariot, and the King of Swords. So the issue is we have somebody who's impatient. It's like, you know, I don't think that things are going very well with everything else. I think they've made some progress, but if they're trying to have a good social life or feel good about themselves, there's this obstacle, and it's you, because they do think about you quite a lot. That being said, I do think there's either a third party, like an ex or a current partner, or there's a career or a family member that stands in the way, and they're not doing anything regarding that block. They're just like, it's okay. I'm maybe currently getting attacked, but you know, it's okay because the bow and arrow is facing the other way and I can't use the bow and arrow because the hawk is attacking my hand. This is like somebody who's unwilling to admit that they have a serious problem. You know, maybe they're like drowning and you're like, hey, can I help you? You want a hand? And they're like, oh, I got it. No, they're not fixing this thing or, you know, addressing what they need to. And they're still wanting to like cycle back and see if they can get a little bit more of your time. Fool in the reverse. Judgment in the reverse. Ace of Pentacles in the reverse. The thing is, I don't think you have any desire to reconnect with this person. Because it's like the first thing you're going to ask is, did you deal with that thing? Did you like talk to that person? Is there still like a family that forbids you to see you kind of thing? Are you still in a really, okay, then we have nothing to say, right? That's the most important thing and you haven't dealt with it. I don't care if you finally like brush your teeth or figured out how to shower every day, like good on you. I'm excited for you. That might help you in other areas of your life, but it's not going to help you here because you haven't dealt with this major thing. You're still in a relationship where you're still letting your family choose all of your things for you. Whatever it is, it's a block. And you're like, how do you think that's not going to be a problem? Why do you think I would want to be on the side? Why do you think I would want to sacrifice that? So this is the problem, right? They're like, they're probably going to like immediately ask me that. Because I think you would. And some of you would just be like, no. I looked at your social media, or somebody told me the other day, I know you're still in a relationship, so just like, psh, F off, you know? Hello, Paul. How are you doing? Hello, Ruben. How's your day? You know, I think that's for everyone to decide within their own relationship, but I can understand how if you're trying to build a future with somebody, but you are very closely connected to an ex, that could cause a problem, right? We have to find a way to be respectful of the other person in the relationship while also maintaining that sense of independence, again, with a respectful energy to it, right? If you are at a point where you don't want or don't see the value in a compromise in a situation like that to care for that person that you love, then you might not be ready for a relationship. You have to agree with the person though, right? Doesn't really work out if one person's like, oh, you can't talk to anybody, and the other person's like, I talk to everybody. We gotta like have similar approaches to that. We have the Seven of Swords and the Ten of Pentacles. This is going to be somebody who tells you I'm ready to be in a long-term relationship. I've done all the things that I was supposed to. I'm so much more high value now than I was before. Three of Pentacles, Six of Swords. This is like, just like, let me have access. Let me like chill with you for a little bit. Let me, you know, be able to brag to my friends that I got to see you again. And then I'm going to leave. Six of Swords. This is somebody who, like, I don't know, you look at this dude's face. Does that look like somebody who's, like, good intentions? I've always felt like this card is somebody who's like, I backed into the parking spot so that I could drive away real fast and nobody could stop me. It's like, I'm going to hang out for a little while. I'm going to get what I want. And then because I know that you're eventually going to reject me, I'll be like gone before you like wake up kind of thing. Hello, Crystal. How are you doing? Hello, April. How's your day? What do we have? The World in the reverse. And the Devil in the reverse. So the thing is, you might have been working on yourself, and this person's only thinking about how they've been working on these little things, right? You know, you're going to be so impressed because I did these things that you didn't think I would ever do. Oh, no, I didn't do that one thing yet. But they don't realize that you've also matured. You've changed. So this is not like, hey, you know, we haven't talked for 2 weeks. Can we hang out? This is probably more so like a couple months, a couple years. They want to come back around, and I feel like they're going to find that you're more intuitive than you were in the past, more focused, and in some cases, you're already in a very happy relationship. So you're going to look at this person and you're going to be like, I'm sorry, what? You want me to risk the thing that is going really well so that I can hang out with somebody who's lying to me about whether or not they've made progress on certain important measures? I don't think you're going to be tempted by this person. I think they're going to try to convince you that they are like worthy competition to somebody else if you are in a relationship or seeing or talking to someone new. But for many of you, this is also just like, no, I have certain requirements for who I hang out with or who I date, and it doesn't seem like you have the right intentions. Like I said, some of you are going to, right out the gate, be like, okay, so have you blocked your ex? Have you had a chat with your parents and told them that, you know, even if they don't approve, if that's what you want, that's what you want? Like, what's the progress on that? And they're going to be like, it means that they're looking for that compassion that they remember from you, and they feel like you're just going to hand it out like it's lemonade on the corner. No, that's even a worse, like that's not right because most people pay for that lemonade. Like, here's a quarter, give you that lemonade. Lemonade stand. But this is like, I don't know, to me, it's about needing energy that they don't feel like they can give to themselves and feeling like they can get that from you without maybe realizing that you have boundaries or you're not just like, you know, a doormat. Hello, Federico. How are you doing? Del Mundo. Okay. Hello, Danny. How are you doing? Hello, Edgar. So we've got the Marigold Tarot, we've got the Ace of Swords, and the Five of Rings in the reverse. The Five of Rings, by the way, would be the Five of Pentacles. So this person's coming back around. They want to tell you that they're lovesick. They want to tell you that they've missed you. Hey, I've been working on some things. My life's a lot better. We should hang out. What are you doing tonight? Hoping you're not going to ask that one question, right? Like, so you still with that one person? You still letting your, you know, brother tell you who to date? I said what I said. Look, we got to be cognizant of what works with regards to your social community, right? Sometimes it's just a struggle when a person you want to date doesn't really get along with friends or family. Other times you have to ask yourself, like, is it because the friends and family are just like kind of difficult, right? I feel like we have somebody here who's realizing, I pushed this person away and chose people that were less trustworthy to stay in my life, or chose to be influenced by people that don't really care about my happiness. And I pushed away this person who does actually want me to be happy. So kind of like Rachel's question, this is like, hey, so can I get some more of that love and energy? Because I don't know, I'm feeling a little bit insecure and you always make me feel good about myself. Queen of Wands in the reverse, also probably like a little bit of thirsty energy. Hello, Jamek. How you doing? Hello, monkeys. How are you? I don't know. Would you like to make a guess? Do you think I have like a whiteboard with like a tally on it? Like, oh my God, we got number 7, you guys. What else do we have? We have the 7 of Rings or 7 of Pentacles and the 3 of Wands in the reverse. This person didn't do the thing that would have been considered to you the most important thing to address. So you're looking at it as, okay, so we're in the same place as when we last spoke, which means there's really nothing that we should like be talking about, because you still don't think that one thing is important to do. You still think that that one person should be able to like make things more difficult or like make decisions for you. Dang, I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult, Lemonade. And I don't think I could have accurate reporting on that anyways. Sorry, guys. Queen of Swords, the Devil, and the Knight of Wands. So you have boundaries. You're not interested because you see that this person's still willing to be elusive or deceptive. You can tell that they're probably just looking for some, I don't know, can I say hanky-panky? Will YouTube get mad at me for that one? Horizontal mambo? Spurts of some type. Terp. Death in the reverse. This person has not gone through the changes that you had talked about, has not worked on the things that caused the obstacle in your relationship to begin with. So even though they feel like there's unfinished business, you look at it as, no, you've already made your choice. You still want to be best friends with that person, or you still want to let your dad pick out whoever you want to date. Whatever it is, it's like that hasn't changed. So how are we supposed to get anything different from what happened the last time around? Queen of Rings or Queen of Pentacles and the Hanged Man. And I do feel like for some of you, when you ask about what they've been up to or if they've done this last thing, they might end up admitting, no, I'm actually still in that relationship. Or, you know, you're right, I probably need to have a conversation with that person, but I haven't. They might seem open to it, but they're still just hoping that if they give just enough hope that this is actually going to happen, that they could have like another night, you know? Hey Kim, how you doing? Thank you for the tip. Let me know if you would like me to pull a few cards. Since I did last time, I'm just writing random, but you let me know. And I think we need maybe the Overthinker's Oracle. And then we will probably after that start those personal questions. Yeah, peace and quiet ain't so bad, right? Hello, Helio. How are you doing? Helio, sun. I'm desperate for another chance. Yes, I think we have picked up on that. This is someone who really just wants to convince you that they deserve at least a little bit of your time. But for many of you, you're already involved in a new connection, or you have someone right around the corner and you're just like, I'm not about to get distracted by someone from the past just because they feel like now it's time to finally confess that they have emotions or that they miss me, because they're still in that relationship. I feel stuck with the wrong person. You know, like if you were actually serious about wanting to pursue someone that you miss, I feel like most people would be like, I should probably approach this person when I am single. Because if I'm in a relationship, it may appear as though I am not serious. Like, am I off base here, you guys? That's what you would think, right? Hello, me time. How are you doing? We've got, okay, this is not my typo. Don't judge me. But somebody feels unworthy. I had to. I'm sorry. Of your love. And that I think has been pretty consistently throughout the reading the case, right? Somebody who knows I've had to work on these things. I know I didn't approach you with the right energy. I've been really upset over losing you, but I also knew it was because I didn't do things the right way. Well, guess what? We also have somebody who feels like if they can't do things the right way. Maybe there's like a little bit of like a cheat code. Is there like a way to just like manifest you, or like, you know, here's a love potion and now you just like can't think about anything but me? I never meant to hurt you. I was so immature. And they look at this as a missed opportunity. So, I mean, it's kind of bordering on obsessiveness. And yet, I'm going to just go ahead and say, like, devil energy does line up with the obsession. I'm just going to say, like, in general, I feel like if you're obsessive with something like this, you would have probably taken care of that one major thing, like not being in a relationship, right? I don't know. I keep thinking about the first time. And I feel terrible for ghosting you and not having the courage to say what needed to be said. They do feel like there's a lot they have to tell you. Maybe if they confess those things, they can have another chance with you. Because they don't really take seriously the other people who are interested in them. They've put you on a pedestal. And there we go. We've got the obsessive lover card as well. This person's obsessed with you. I'm so sorry. I never should have strung you along. They knew that they were promising more than they could deliver. And even at this point, when they come back around, they're trying to make it seem like they have more to offer you than they really do. It might even be as simple as, you know, I told you that, you know, I was going to be available for 3 hours, and it turns out I really only have like 45 minutes to hang out with you. That kind of thing. Yes, I agree with that, Matt. So we have, I hope I can reach you before it's too late. The thing is, they might have some idea that you are falling in love with someone new or about to meet someone, and that's pretty scary for them, but they also might have a little bit of extra confidence based on how much you let them get away with in the past. They may be underestimating how much you've learned since they saw you. This is the Egyptian Tarot. We're going to start on the personal questions. We've got Skemi up first, and then Kim after that, if I get confirmation from Kim. Someone has promised me something. I don't know if it's true or not. Promise. True or not? I got you. Will there be, I think you were saying this no contact Shannon, will you have an opportunity to talk it out? Will you at some point be back in contact? This is like an underlying hidden desire, but there's a block here. It could be that Shannon is a very emotional person with this King of Cups. I feel like there is some, like it's a big swing in terms of how I feel one day to the next. Do I want to talk to you? Do I want to work things out? Or would I rather just kind of like forget that you exist? So is this like someone going through some emotional healing? Star in the reverse. Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. I don't know. Okay. I feel like this is someone who's investing in a different romantic connection. And when there are bad days with this person, like, oh, I'm not getting enough attention from you, or you flaked out and now you have to like reschedule, then this person thinks about you. So is this like only if this other relationship fails? Yeah. So I'm going to put everything I have into this connection. I feel like I chose the right person. So I'm not interested in reconnecting with Skemi. But if things don't go well with this person, then I know I'm going to go talk to Skemi. But I don't like that we have the Devil coming out with the Two of Cups. I wonder if this is somebody who is a serial monogamist or doesn't know how to be on their own, doesn't know how to, you know, take some time for themselves. That could explain why we had the star in the reverse. Might be carrying a lot of resentment from previous relationships. Hello, Sacred. How are you doing today? Let's see. We've got, is my XMP even a little bit sorry? Sometimes it takes a little bit of time, right? But hopefully, for what he's done to me. Sending you some healing energy. And I've added that to my list. Skemmy, I would be a little bit cautious with regards to Shannon. It does feel to me a little bit like this is someone who views relationships as things that make me feel good about myself instead of things that I should be investing in, right? Yeah. To be honest, I feel like you're dreaming because she's thinking about you. So if you put it in that context and you're like, oh, this isn't like my heart longing for this person. This is somebody who is like very emotional and pulling on my energy because they don't feel like they're getting what they want. Sorry, I had to turn off my Bluetooth. I was trying to connect to my AirPods. That's funny. Okay. So, Skemmy, I hope that helps and maybe helps you understand the dreams too. Let's see what we've got for Kim. This is the Nightmare Before Christmas. The person who made a promise to Kim, is this promise true? Can it be trusted? Yes. So we have the Star, the King of Wands or King of Candles in the reverse, and the Ten of Swords. I do feel like there's something here where someone feels like, you know, maybe I haven't been super reliable in the past, or maybe I haven't been a good friend, maybe I haven't been super trustworthy, but I do feel like I need to do right by this situation. So this would be somebody who feels like they owe you, basically. So, you know, if I messed something up last time, or if you know, just kind of like don't have the best opinion of me right now, I want to make sure that I take this particular situation to show you that I want to do right by you. So that's how they're looking at it. They want to make sure that they don't mess this up. Aw, that's sweet. I do like that. I hope that goes well. Yes, thank you for liking and subscribing. All right, let's see what we've got for Sacred. This is the Bianco Nero. Is Sacred's XMP even a little bit sorry for what I think he said he did to Sacred? Even just a little bit sorry. No. Knight of Swords in the reverse. This is somebody who's irrational. This is someone who views it as you were fighting me, or you were not doing what I wanted you to do, and you needed to like learn a lesson. This person is like a little bit high and mighty. Page of Wands in the reverse. This person does not read the room. Okay, so I'm being reminded of, there was this time I introduced a couple of people, right? Friends, didn't know each other. And individually got along with both of them, but probably should have anticipated before introducing them that maybe they didn't really agree on some things, or maybe they wouldn't really like each other. And when we walked away, my buddy was like convinced, oh, your best friend thinks I'm amazing. No, I could tell from every single facial expression that my best friend made that in fact she thinks you're a loser. Like, I didn't say that, but this is someone who walks away. It might have been because there was, you know, drinks on the table, But we have this like inability to see that, no, you're not being received the way that you think you are. Self-monitoring and self-awareness is not this person's strong suit. So therefore, accountability doesn't seem to really have a chance, right? So we have the Six of Cups and the Devil. This is someone who feels like, I don't know, like you're wrapped around their little finger, or they have control. They have control issues. But with the Six of Cups, this could be somebody who feels like they can use love bombing or gifts as a way to get around having to actually be held accountable for their behavior. So I don't think this is someone who actually feels sorry. We have the Four of Wands and the Ten of Pentacles. I feel this is something that was taught to this person by someone in their family. In other words, I don't feel like this is something that's going to be very quickly unlearned. It would first require, oh, you know what? I don't really treat people right. That's probably why things are not going the way that I was hoping they would. But also it's like, it worked for that person, so why would I change it? And if I want to be in control and this is a way to control people, then I'm going to do that. So this person's a little bit heartless, and you deserve better than that. I'm going to pull a few cards for April, because I sure do appreciate you, April. What do we have for April, please? Ten of Pentacles, Eight of Swords, Six of Swords in the reverse. This feels to me like someone is lying to you or keeping you intentionally uninformed. This is either regarding a sum of money or somebody from your family, with the Ten of Pentacles being here. Queen of Wands, Seven of Wands in the reverse, Ten of Wands, and the Nine of Wands. I don't know. Is somebody a fire sign? Aries, Leo, Sagittarius? Because these all four were associated with fire. This is interesting. So I feel like there could be somebody here who is getting eaten up by regret or guilt. I lied about something, it made things worse, or they had unintended consequences, but now I have to really like figure out whether or not I should tell the truth, because if I tell the truth, then it's going to expose like what I was doing, but I don't want to cause problems for somebody else. This is someone who feels stuck because they do have some morals, but they might have kind of ignored them at one point and been a little bit selfish. Hello, Janet. How are you doing? Oh, thank you, Sacred. I'm sending you, I don't know, just like a big old hug. Just remember there are people out there that'll do right by you, okay? All right, so I'm going to leave it there. I love you all. Thank you for the likes. Thank you for the subscribes. And I will see you on the next